Hello everyone, today we would like to give you a detailed introduction on the 4G solar-powered camera kit. The 4G solar-powered cameras are developed because of the urgent needs in those off-grid areas. In these areas, like construction sites, remote areas, or the community open spaces, there always have some worries about the valuable asset safety or about the illegal behaviors happening on the remote side and the illegal dumping or other illegal activities happening on the community side. But these sites always have some problem for the wireless network and the power supply because the deployment distance or because of the short-term program period. All of this may make the remote surveillance challenge. To address the above challenges, some customers may choose to achieve a wireless network and power supply for the outdoor cameras by themselves. Like they will choose or DIY the 4G solar panel or the battery to achieve a wireless network and power supply. But this DIY solution always have its shortage. That is the hasslement of the component selection and the problem to synchronize all these solar panel and the camera and battery into a low power consumption performance. And once there is some problems that you may need to maintain or you may need to repair, that it is very hard to find the after sales partner or after sales teams because all these products are coming from different supplier or different manufacturer. Therefore, the DIY solutions may not be the optimal choices for the off-grid areas. Because of the lack of the outdoor surveillance cameras, there is a huge financial losses or even life threats happening around the society. So under these circumstances or under this background, we then introduced our 4G solar-powered camera kit. This camera kit can give you a very wireless deployment, a very low power consumption performance, and a very intelligent off-grid scenarios surveillance. And this camera, firstly, you do not to DIY the whole components. We have select the proper solar panel, the proper battery, and the proper brackets to achieve a good synergy with the camera. And they can be lightweight and easy install and be easy mounted so that you do not need to worry about the installation process. These components with our camera can really facilitate your installation process. Besides, this camera supports the 4G solar power panel up to 2 pieces. You can put 2 pieces of solar panel at the same time for the power generation on the camera. And the battery is behind the 4G solar panel for the power storage. And this camera has IP67 performance so that they can be a good surveillance equipment on those outdoor weathers. And besides, this camera actually has two versions. One is the ANPR version and one is the security version. The security version and ANPR version differentiate themselves from the AI analytics. The security version of the camera are equipped with AI events that focusing on human activities like intrusion detection, line crossing, object left, advanced motion detection, and temper detection. The ANPR cameras use the AI that is focusing on the LPR, license plate recognition, list management, like the blacklist and the whitelist for the access control, and no plate event happening on the road to track the vehicle and to extract the vehicle's attributes. And besides, the ANPR camera may have longer lens options and dual IR wavelengths to deal with the different reflectiveness caused by different license plate materials, so that you can choose different version for your different off-grid surveillance scenarios. And then we would like to give you the highlights one by one to help you have a better understanding of this camera. The first feature of our 4G solar-powered camera kit is its 4G module and solar-powered panel for the network and the power supply so that it can achieve a wireless deployment. Besides, the camera supports the built-in GPS so that they can always give you the correct location accuracy to help you to track the events or track the people or track the vehicle. Besides, you can also have various experience on the network connection. We have prepared a lot of the network connection for this camera. Firstly, if the camera is being installed in a long distance from the local network, you can use the 4G cellular connection to the network. If the camera is still within a 5 kilometer radius of the network, you can use the network bridge for the connection. Or if the camera is located or is installed within the coverage of the router that is like near the surrounding, you can use the Wi-Fi. You can directly connect our camera with Wi-Fi for the wireless network supply. So we have prepared various network connection methods for you to facilitate your network connectivity and network management. Besides, another important features of the camera is the long-lasting and low power consumption performance. Our cameras can last the working performance up to 11 days or even 17 days, even under extreme weathers. How do we achieve that? That is because, firstly, we will choose the low power consumption sensors and chips to minimize the power waste or to minimize the power usage. And the IR lights working mechanism in the camera will also be changed for a more energy saving model. That is, the IR lights in this camera's ANPR version will be a strobing mechanism. That means it will not be a constant lighting condition. It will strobe so that the camera will have a very low power consumption performance in terms of the hardware selection. Besides, another important contributes to the low power consumption performance is the camera's various working status. They can change from the active status to low power consumption performance status to sleep status with just various configuration types. You can treat the camera as a regular camera and put all of these cutting edge function on. Even under these scenarios, our camera can still lasting about 11 days or even 17 days, even under no sunshine and cloudy and windy weather conditions. Or if you want to extend the camera's duration, you can then activate the dynamic frame rate function. The dynamic frame rate refers to our camera's capability to smartly and smoothly change the frame rates based on the events. When there is an event or when there are events detected, the camera will use high frame rates. And otherwise, for the most of the time, the camera will stay in a low frame rates when there is no event happening to achieve the low power consumption performance. And also, our camera have a sleep mode. Under this mode, our camera can last 165 days. All of the function on the camera will go on rest or go on sleep, and the camera will only activate itself for scheduled image capture to ensure that the camera is still functioning well. That is the flexible working modes to achieve the low power consumption performance and a very long lasting working duration. And besides, this camera is also an intelligent camera, as I mentioned before. The camera has the ANPR version with the AI focusing on the human activity, like advanced motion detection, intrusion detection, object left, line crossing, tamper detection, and human vehicle detection. And the camera also supports the ANPR-based security on the ANPR version because it can do the LPR, license plate recognition, like list management, and no plate event management. So because of the wireless network and power supply, the low power consumption performance, and the AI analytics, this camera can achieve a very good off-grid surveillance performance or effect to you. And to optimize your user experience, we have especially designed the web interfaces, and we have considered a very smooth backend connectivity to you. So firstly, let's look at the special web design. The web live view of this camera will be a little bit different from the regular camera. This camera will have the signal and power icon to indicate the real-time power and network supply and the condition. Besides, we also provide a Wi-Fi, built-in Wi-Fi, so that you can directly connect built-in Wi-Fi with the camera, so that you can directly connect the mobile phone with the camera to do some initial or quick configuration. And also in the camera's web interface, we can provide you with the power usage, power alarming, and data alarming, or the signal alarming, signal status for you to for your prompt and immediate maintenance of the camera. As for the backend connectivity, we know that the biggest problem of the camera is that it always uses a dynamic IP for the network connection. So to ensure that even the camera is using a dynamic IP, it still can be easily find for the backend VMS. We here provide you with various connection methods for you. So firstly, you can choose the fixed IP in the 4G SIM card for a fixed IP connection. But we know that this solution may be quite rare and quite expensive, so that we have some other other solutions for you for the dynamic IP issues. So firstly, you can use the VPN. We have the VPN tutorials to help you to facilitate or to streamline your port forwarding or the port mapping to the backend VMS. Or you can use our Milesight P2P terminal. That means our camera has an embedded plug-in for the P2P terminal, and then you just need to download another plug-in on the VMS devices, and then the camera can be directly connected to the on-premise VMS for the fast connection. And also, if you are using a cloud VMS, then the problem will be much easier because our camera can have an embedded agent inside the camera, so that there will be no complicated web configuration or network configuration or like complicated port mapping issues. You can directly connect the IP to the cloud to push the information to the cloud for a further cloud VMS management. And currently, our cameras can be perfectly connect or be perfectly compatible to these third-party mainstream platforms. We can push the device connection, live view, video configuration, or some event to the backend for further video monitoring and video management. And besides, the camera also can support a seamless compatibility to the cloud VMS like 3DI. We use the push technology to push the information from the camera to the cloud. And then we use a bandwidth optimization technology to significantly reduce the bandwidth use to significantly reduce the data usage. And also the 3DI camera. The 3DI platform is a perfect solution for the outdoor surveillance because the cloud management, 3DI is a cloud management and 3DI is a cloud VMS, so that you do not need to worry about the hardware, the server's hardware. It can achieve a serverless deployment from the front end to the back end, so that when you are deploying this camera on the outside scenario, you do not need to worry about the extra workload to deploy another server hardware. So that is the comprehensive backend solution currently we can offer about this camera. And here, let's look at some typical application scenarios for this camera. Firstly, let's look at the construction size. This program always have limited time or period for their construction program, so they may not want to put extra energy or extra workload for the cable deployment for the surveillance camera, but they still need a camera to help them with the trespassing or with the protection of their valuable assets. And they may also want the camera can help to track the installation or track the construction process. Our camera can address the above issues because they can provide a wireless network and power supply. They can provide AI analytics like the intrusion detection, line crossing, and object left to find whether there is a suspicious person or whether there is a theft event. And also the camera can support time-lapse video recording for the construction progress tracking. Another application scenario is like the orchard and farm. These business areas always have their featured business mode, that is the seasonal business mode. They will have peak season and off seasons, so that they may want the surveillance cameras always have the flexible mode to be adaptive to their business mode. And besides, they also have some valuable infrastructure or valuable assets that they want to be protected. And because of the extensive area of the orchard and farm, they may also want the camera to be a wireless network and power supply, so that this camera, with its highlights, it can perfectly address these issues. Firstly, the solar power supply and the network for 4G supply. And also, the camera supports the intrusion detection, line crossing, or some other AI events for the trespassing or for the assets protection. Besides, the camera's various working mode, various working status can be perfectly matched to this business modes off season and the peak season. Besides, the camera can also be a good helper for the community open space management. For the community open spaces, there might be some region that used for the garbage or the trash management, so that if you put the camera on this region or on these areas, the camera can achieve a wireless and fast deployment, and then they can use the camera's object left AI functionalities to track whether there is an illegal dumping event happening on this ground. Besides, you can also choose another version of the camera, the ANPR version, for a quick deployment and a quick access control, because the camera can record the list, the black and white list, and do the license plate recognition. And the last scenario is about parking and road safety on those remote areas. Because our camera can use as wireless network and power supply to achieve a fast installation, and they can use the LPR algorithm for the vehicle tracking and the vehicle recording, and the immediate alarming report can also ensure a in-time prompt rescue actions, so that the camera can help the outdoor remote area becoming a very secure and a very intelligent area. So that is all about today's introduction for the 4G solar powered camera kit. Hope you could enjoy, and thank you for listening.